All right, Shalom. We give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honor to the elders and apostles who tell us his truth. And peace, blessings to your brothers who's doing his work in truth and in sincerity. All right, so this is a mock coming to you with another lesson. All right, going into the spirit, flowing in transit. All right, and this lesson is going to be about not envying the glory of a sinner. All right, so not envying the prosperity of the wicked, if you will. All right, many scriptures, specifically going into Proverbs and even Sirach, goes into envying not the glory of a sinner. All right, so like you can go into Proverbs 24, starting from the top, when it goes into, when it says, roughly paraphrasing, it says, envy not, what the evil delighted. All right, envy not the prosperity of the evil, right? Because their hearts, they meditate in their hearts decipher evil. Okay, so these people that are so-called winning right now, all right, so-called winning, the people in the world, you see they've got the successful businesses, or they're driving the flyest cars, or they got all the money, living in the best neighborhoods. All of those people, most of them, I'm not gonna say all of them, but most of them, which is safe to say most of them, right? Because 2/3 of our people are not going to see the kingdom. That's most. Most of them aren't going to see the kingdom, and most of them are going to get destroyed on this side, And the very dainties that they have, they won't be able to enjoy for much longer. All right, but you that are in the fold, go as Yahweh Shai saith, all right. If you seek to save your life, you shall lose it. All right, but if you lose your life for his sake, you shall gain life eternal. All right, and we hate our lives unto death, as the scripture said. So all the things that we do that we, so-called and take enjoyment in, all those things are just, pastimes. That's all they are. Brothers got hobbies, brothers have interests, and that's absolutely normal, and we indulge in those things because, it's not unrighteous to do, right? But we don't allow these interests and, hobbies and things to consume us, all right? Whereas the people in the world, these hobbies, these interests, these businesses, they consume them, and ultimately they are the very things that validate them. They're nothing without that. But we, all right, being in this faith, striving to be of the first fruit, the elect, all right, going all the way up to the 144,000. This truth is what defines us. All right, this truth is what validates us. We don't seek, where when you read in John, Yahweh Shai was always going at the chief priests and the Pharisees, right, and all the men of the Jews, right, because they sought to please men. They were men pleasers, But we in this truth, we are not men pleasers, At least us, those that are sincere in this truth, are not men pleasers, because believe it or not, you have men in this fold that that are of the faith that are man pleasers. They seek the validation of men. But that's a topic for another day. But yeah, we don't glory in delight or in envy, with the sinners indulging, because they might be up now, but guess what? What does and they might be up now, right? And you see them then, and they're indulging in wickedness. They're living it. They're embracing it. They're promoting it. And you're like, damn. Here it is. I'm sacrificing for the Lord. I'm doing this. I'm doing that, and I'm struggling. I barely can catch a break. Well, guess what? We're going through our chastening now. We're going through that fire now, because when Jacob's trouble comes, the times we're coming into, these people are going to be their trouble and their affliction, man, is going to be so bad that they're going to seek death, right? But death is going to flee from them, as the scripture said. Because remember this, Jacob's trouble is not for the elect. It's very clear to understand that Jacob's trouble is not for the elect, because the Lord made it very clear that the pestilence and the destruction, and Esau comes in, he's going to lift up the standard, and all those things. That, Psalms 91, how none of those things shall come to near our dwelling, right? And your dwelling is ultimately wherever you are, okay? Not just your house where you live, but wherever you are, that's your dwelling, right? Ultimately, your temple, your body. So we know that, and the Most High also said, "My servant shall eat." You shall be fed. All these different things, right? So we know that we are going. I'm gonna say we, speaking as the hopeful elect, right? We're going to be fed and protected in those days. It might not be all peaches and cream 24/7, but our case isn't going to be as bad as the 2/3 of our people, man. Because Jacob's trouble is for them. All right, Jacob's trouble is for ultimately the destruction and the sifting of the 2/3, because you're going to go straight from Jacob's trouble, and then Jacob's trouble is going to segue into the missiles that hit this place. All right, the ICBM missiles. All right, the nuclear destruction of America. So yeah, when you go into Ecclesiastes 8, all right, I believe starting at 11, it goes into that, man. It goes into how, sentence against an evil work is not executed, right? It's not executed speedily, meaning judgment and punishment for committing sin is not given out right then and there when the sin is committed, or shortly after the sin is committed. Some people it is, but most people it's not. So that's why it says that the hearts of the men, all right, are fully setting them to do evil. All right, it's fully setting them to do evil because they know that they can commit these wicked things and they can live wickedly, and you're not going to get judged for it. Hey, most of them, or I don't want to say most of them, but a lot of them, hey, they get come-ups in this world. Look at the so-called rappers and artists, and so-called celebrities. They sell they sold their souls. A lot of them committed atrocities, and they do wicked things to keep their publicity and their riches. And you would think that they're blessed, man. You'll look at them on the outside in, thinking, man, they're so blessed, they're so fortunate. Man, God must really love them because of the lifestyle that they live. But little do you know, the scriptures say that it's hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. The Most High has chosen the poor of the world. He has chosen the meek. All right. So it's very simple, man. So it's very clear that it's okay, Jake. It's okay. Our come up is coming very soon, man. Some brothers are a little more well off than others, in this fold. But every brother has their own measure. Every brother has their own, truth. Not truth, but every brother has their own lot. Okay. Hey, some brothers in their past lives may have been more wicked. So the Most High is like, all right, I'm having mercy on you in this life, and I'm gonna bring you into this truth. But you're gonna be, you're gonna be on the struggle boat. And then some brothers may have been a little bit more, tedious and righteous in their past life, and the Most High had a little mercy on them. All right, allowed them to, have a little bit more on this side, even in this truth. Have a little bit of easier straight. Because we all go through straights, right? Going into that word straight, STRAIT, right? A difficult path. We all go through straights, but every brother's straight is different. What may be difficult to one brother may not be so much to another, right? And vice versa. So remember, every brother has their lot, and the Most High has a plan for us all. And the Most High is not going to put any brother through more than he can bear, So, hey, some brothers just have a certain spirit where they'll be going through shit, man, and it just, they don't do anything about it, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. Some brothers, on the other hand, grind. There's nothing wrong with that, man. As long as you serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua and you giving forth his due sacrifice, all right. Your Most High gets his daily sacrifice. As long as you do that, Who cares, man? You work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Who cares, man? You grind. You know, but you say the Most High still getting his sacrifice, right? You're still going out, you're still making time to go out, you know, being consistent, you're still, you're praying, whether it's fasting, you're still, reading and, being in holy convocation. It's so many, there's so many ways to give unto the Most High, man. It's not one way to give and sacrifice to the Most High. Every brother's sacrifice is different, man. Just remember that. If you're a teacher, as long as you're being consistent with teaching and being sincere about it, that's that sacrifice. Okay. You're a believer and you just live righteously, man. You support the brothers. It's like, what can you really say? Some brothers have this spirit where they do the work. They spend, multiple hours a day teaching, whether they might go out every single day, 7 days a week for 2 hours, and then do up a lesson later that night, and then, and maybe do another, Hey, every brother's lot, every brother's schedule and life is different, man. So, hey, remember, comparison is the killer of joy. All right, so don't compare yourself to another brother. Specifically, don't compare yourself to people in the world. All right, to tie in, the purpose of this lesson. Don't compare yourself to those that are in the world, man, because those that are in the world cannot compete with you. All right, Jake, because you have the spirit to know righteousness and to know the truth. And Yahweh Shai said that if you shall believe on me and the words that I speak, and they shall make you free. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. So believing on Yahweh Shai, all right, and receiving the word and believing on that word, you shall be free from this world. So even brothers that are in this truth, we go through shit, but we don't feel the stresses. We don't really feel the stresses of having to keep up in society, because it doesn't matter, because this world passeth away. And we don't feel the stresses and needs to be of a certain status. And we'll go through shit and, we'll be like, it's all good. I'm going to do what I got to do to try to get out of this. But at the end of the day, the Most High is going to make the way in his due time. So we have that faith, We have, because we're waiting for the kingdom of heaven. So our patience is like, man, if you in the truth, you ain't got no patience, man. If you ain't got no patience for things in the world, man, it's just like, how? Every brother should be a little nonchalant. Should be nonchalant when it comes to the affairs of this world. I used to get caught up in this shit, man. I'm not gonna say I haven't. Even recently, it happens. We're in the flesh, all right? We're men, we're in the flesh. It's easy to get caught up in the stresses of the world. But you always gotta remember that it's all meaningless. Hey, it's all meaningless, man. If it's not for the betterment of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, for the spirit, and if it's not pertaining to the gospel, bro, it's meaningless. It's vanity. Money issues is vanity. Esau fucking with you is vanity, bro. Esau's gonna be destroyed. We don't have to be in the spirit of, I'm gonna get these niggas. Like, bro, look, man, Zephaniah 3:8, man. Wait ye on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai till he rise up to the prey, man. All we gotta do is teach, man, and endure. That's it. I listen, me personally, every brother's different, but me personally, man, I don't get fazed by these heathen, bro. I really don't. I really don't, man. I don't have much emotion to give. I really don't. When I see Edomites and heathen, bro, I just be like, they do some wicked shit, bro. I just be like, hey, man, I already know what y'all got coming to y'all. It doesn't rouse my spirit or make me angry. Sometimes I'll see oppression now that's what gets me. If I see oppression of my people, and I see my people low, and I see things happening to other people, that gets me roused up, because it's not always about self. I genuinely have a spirit of empathy, and care for my people, especially the helpless of my people. But like I said, the point, don't get caught up in this world, man. Fuck the heathen, fuck the wicked, man. We already know what their destruction is, man. We know what their end is, all right? we already know what their end is. You know, it says that it shall not be well with them that obey not the gospel. All right. So how much more to them that fear the Lord and obey His word? You know. So we got crowns, man. We got crowns waiting for us. We got spiritual bodies waiting for us, man. We got new bodies, celestial bodies, not made with hands, made in the heavens, man. I don't think y'all realize, man. That's what we got waiting for us. All we got to do is endure. That's it. All we got to do is just go through this life day by day and watch the prophecies come to pass, man. So Lord willing, this video was edifying. Until next time, brothers, on the Shalom.